Okay, so we start. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we have an event of the marathon, Wenzhou Marathon. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We just simply manage that situation. Anyway, okay, today we are heading to the management and the human resource management, and we are attenuating the topics of the human resource management more. Okay. Good. Are you ready? Are you hearing? Everybody can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
Okay, good. Okay, good. And let's go forward. Okay, so yeah, I am going to the definitions of the management, the definition of the human resource management, and then we are heading to that direction. Good. Management. Okay. And what is the definition of the management? We talk. Okay. So a long story short, there are tons of different definitions of the management. Okay. However, this is my definition of the management. Management. So we are becoming an MBA master. Okay, master of the business administration. That is that is the purpose of the becoming a good manager as we talk. Okay. From the histories of the MBA, from the histories of the management education, we learned about the management is a new invention, and the management education is to make that the people more good manager. Good manager. That's the purpose of this course. Okay. However, in order to become a good manager, what the hell is the management? Okay, management. That what is our profession? Okay, what is our profession? And what we are expected to perform? Simply, okay, management is the process of getting things done effectively and efficiently by and through money and people. Okay, that is my definition. That is my definition. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. Okay. Managers must be able to get things done. Okay. No matter what. That's our main purpose. We must get things done. Okay. And if we can get things done effectively and efficiently, what is the meaning of the effectiveness? What is the meaning of the efficiency? Do you remember? What is the meaning of the effectiveness? How we can get things done effectively, and what is the meaning of the effectiveness, and what is the meaning of the efficiency? Do you remember? Oh, efficiency, effectiveness, efficiency. Oh, okay. The effectiveness is do the right thing. Okay. Please do the right thing. And then efficiency means do things right. Okay. What is the difference of that? Do the things right is you must hit the good target. Please achieve the right goal. Okay. In a right way. The best way. Okay. Way of doing. That is the effectiveness and that is the efficiency. We want to get things done. Okay, we want to get the right things done in the right way. That is the management. Okay, and we manage money. We manage people. Okay. Unfortunately, okay, we are not a technical problem solver. Okay, we solve our business problems through money and people. Okay. Absolutely. So that is management. That is the management. Okay. I think so. And you may learn about it, the management processes, the four functions. We learned about it. Okay, so management has four functions. Four functions plus one, because this is a human resource management course. Okay, we intentionally add one more. Anyway, what are four major functions of the management? Oh, here we go. POLC. POLC. Sunny, what is the POC? Four major functions of the management. Okay. Planning, yeah. Organizing, leading, and controlling. Okay, controlling. Okay, however, because this is a human resource course, human resource management course, okay, we add one more stepping because of human resource management. Okay, so that is this. Okay, so here, management is five management processes, and the management is a process of getting things done effectively and efficiently through money and people. Okay, and there is a planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. But however, staffing is just for the human resource management. However, in the human resource management, planning means we set the goals, send out the rules, procedure, forecasting, and organizing, giving tasks. And the staffing is managing people and leading the get jobs done. And the controlling means that the taking a corrective action. Okay. So that is a rough idea of the management in human resource management. But however, so as an MBA, as a management, okay, so we better to organize in a little bit different way. So this is four functions of the management. And then there are five functions of the human resource management. Okay, so including the staffing. The first, okay, human resource management is dealing with people. First function of the human resource management is acquiring. We get people. And second, we train and develop the people. Training and development. So that is a T&D, a development. Third, then staffing. Okay, let the people have job, task. Okay, fourth, your compensate, give them a salary, strategy, payment, and why? Because we want to keep them work. Okay, retention and exit. Yeah. Okay, sometimes we need to lay them off. Not sometimes, many times. Okay, these are the five major functions of the human resource management. Okay, so this is HRM function. So by definition, human resource management, okay, human resource management is a management process, absolutely. And the human resource management is a process of acquiring, training, and developing, and appraising, and compensating employees, and of the attending to their labor relations, health, and the safety, and the fairness concern. HRM is performing these five major functions to handle people. That's it. Okay. Good. And why HRM is important? Okay. HRM is a key managerial function in the process in order to avoid or reduce costs and improve performance, perform the line manager and the staff manager roles, and to take a lot of the HR manager in the friendly firms, organizations. These are getting more important. Yes, but however, more fundamentally, why not HRM? Okay, why managing people is getting more important from the Steve Jobs? If we fail in managing people, what will be happening? If hierarchy wins over the idea, what will be happening? Simple. Make it simple. What will be happening? Why Wenzhou people leave outside of the Wenzhou and they never come back? Why Chinese best scientists and engineers leave and never come back? What is happening? Then Wenzhou is now losing their core. competitive advantage. If we fail in maintaining and keeping and developing, managing people, people will not stay with me. People will not suffer my organization. People will not suffer our society. People will never work with me. The best people will not work for me. Then absolutely we will not have this. Then what will be happening? We will have no chance to win. We will have no chance to win. And the Wenzhou can compete with the Shanghai. Wenzhou can compete with the Hangzhou. Wenzhou can compete with the Shenzhen. And China is competing with the US in terms of the artificial intelligence. If we do not have good numbers of the scientists and engineers. And the Huawei is now winning over the Samsung or Apple. Who create that kinds of the competitive advantage? Money? No. People. Okay? Definitely, we need best people. Not because we can do this kind of things, but because we need strategic competitive advantage that come from people. Competitive advantage. Okay, so do you remember what are 5 elements of the competitive advantage? What are the five dimensions of the competitive advantage? Yeah, first, yeah. According to the Sun Tzu Bingfa, okay, the Michael Porter, the strategy management father, Sun Tzu Bingfa, okay, so Michael Porter conceptualized the 5 elements of the win without fighting doctrines, principles to win without fighting. According to Sun Tzu Bingfa, okay, if we have these 5 elements, 5 strengths, we can win without fighting. Okay, and that is conceptualized as competitive advantage by the Michael Porter. Okay, what are those 5? This Dao, Tian, Di, Zhang, Bao. Okay, and the Dao, discipline, doctrine, and the environmental advantage, and the resource something, and the manager leadership, and the rules, norms, disciplines. Does that come from money or does that come from people? Usually people. Okay. So technically speaking, people create the fundamental fundamental competitive advantage. If we fail in keeping the best people that create the fundamental competitive advantage, we definitely have no chance to win. On the other hand, no matter what, if we can create and sustain competitive advantage from people, we definitely have a chance to win without fighting. Okay, we will see that kinds of case at the Netflix. Actually, the Netflix is not a big company. Many technology companies are not big. And the OpenAI, and actually the OpenAI was started on MPO, non-profit organization, and they didn't have enough number of the people. They didn't have enough number of the resources. And how OpenAI is now fundamentally changed the artificial intelligence world. ChatGPT. No, that's not a big company. And more interestingly, that was started by a few number of the Google engineers. And now the Google is better than the open ChatGPT? No. And the ChatGPT has a lot of the support from the Microsoft. And the Microsoft collaborating with the OpenAI, okay, the company, and they are now fundamentally changing the work of doing OPs, co-pilot. Okay. So how that kinds of things can happen? Because OpenAI has the best of the best engineers. Who is most smart? Who is the totally smartest people? No, actually no. Those guys are not the smartest people, and they didn't graduate the best of the best schools, Stanford, the University of Illinois, or the MIT. No, no, but they are well aligned with the mission, vision, and goals of the OpenAI. Okay, even though they didn't get a very good high salary, but however, they work best. They work best. And Steve Jobs himself, Steve Jobs didn't graduate from Harvard. Steve Jobs didn't complete the college. He didn't have any MBA, but he is one of the best business guys. Okay, how that kinds of things can happen? Who is the best person? Who is the best people? Who is the best talent? Who graduated the best school? No. How we can acquire? How we can identify those guys? And how we can train and develop them? And how we can let them have it work? And then how we can compensate, how we can keep them. Okay? And if in case, if we don't need them, how we can let them out? That's the human resource management. Okay? Why HRM is important? Because we want to win without fighting. I don't want to lose. Okay, and the trend of the HRM, the speed of the changes matter. Technology changes, globalization, internet, or the economic changes, nature of the work is changing, demographic changes, and the economic challenges. Okay, that's overview, and then trend of the HRM of many, okay, including mine, from CNC to LNL. Do you remember trend after the pandemic? Trend of HR, CNC to LNL. Do you remember? Yeah, this is Dr. Jerry Choi's description about the changes of the human resource management, people management. That's a trend. That's a paradigm change. I think so. I propose this. I am proposing this. What are these? From command and control to listen and lead. Listen and lead. Okay. And yesterday we learned about the original meanings of this. Listen to understand, hearing to respond. Listen, okay, listen is not easy, okay? And then nowadays, many people want to be heard. Okay? Because they usually have a better idea than managers. Many things are now changing quickly. Every moment, everything is changing. And the young guys and the frontline workers, they have a better idea because they are dealing with that kinds of thing. Person in charge, okay? They may have the best solution to address that the problem, okay? And the managers need to listen first, to understand, then lead them to work. And managers do not know anything about it, what's happening nowadays. And they just understand. No, they do not understand. But however, they just command and control because they are managers. Hierarchy wins? No. That's a business organization. Anyway, so that there is a trend of and how to manage people. Okay, so these are the four, but however, more specifically, acquiring, training and development, staffing, reward, and exit. I hope so. This is more specific. Whatever, these are the major functions of the human resource management. Good. And then, yeah, we will see what the HR managers are doing recently. So anybody think HR, okay, so maybe you have a few number of the experiences. What the HRs are doing, what the HR managers and what the HRs are doing. They give me salary, they help me to file the tax, they help me to get people, and they help me to recruit somebody. Okay. Traditionally, we have that kinds of understanding, but actually, no, not anymore. Recently, what the businesses are doing in terms of the HR, we will see what the HRs are doing. Hello. A day in life of the human resource manager at the Unilever. Unilever is one of the best consumer goods company, and the Unilever is very well known for their training program for the manager. Unilever, P&G, Johnson and Johnson, consumer goods, okay, and the PepsiCo. Those consumer goods company are the best in marketing, in developing the business talent. Okay, and then we will listen to the Unilever's HR. What are they doing?
I'm Kelly Needham. I'm a global HR business partner for communications and media. Gone through a lot of things. Like in our ice cream factory in Gloucester, I went out of function for a while, sat in our Sainsbury's team doing our marketing for our skin and hair brands. And then I ended up being actually in the role I'm in today, as business partner in global media and communications. I think because the scheme is 2 years long, the transition from going from a graduate to a manager is quite smooth. I don't think I noticed it as harshly as I thought I maybe would. I think you're definitely quite well prepared for that next step up. My diary is completely different depending on what day of the week it is, what month it is. I could be at a leadership team conference that lasts all week. I could be in the office having meetings with lots of business partners, external people, or I could be getting out there around the world visiting some of my business partners. So at the minute, I'm organising a trip to New York to meet some guys in our offices over there. I'm Jessica Vincent. I recently moved roles. Currently, I am the Global Leadership Development Manager for Early Careers, which looks after graduates predominantly. I have done quite a good job in the time that I've been at Unilever. I started on the training program. I did 4 placements in HR, starting off in the lead factory, looking after shift patterns on the factory floor. I've been fortunate that I have moved roles quite often, never having done one for more than about 2.5 years. So there is no average day in my role at the moment. There's a vast array of projects that I work on. I could be working on our employer branding, making sure that it really lives and breathes in the UK and Ireland market. I could also be working on our referral process in the UK and Ireland, which means that people can refer a friend, come and join the company because they have a good experience here. Or I could be working with our partners at Accenture in terms of making sure that our candidate experience for people, whether they're successful or not in getting a job for Unilever, have a really good experience and go out as brand ambassadors, having had an interaction.
Okay, this is a typical day of the HR manager and the HR staff. Okay, however, there is another, the more higher level of the HR director.
My name is Tim London. I'm Vice President of Human Resources for Unilever in the UK and Ireland. I joined Unilever as a graduate trainee in 1993. I ended up joining Unilever almost as my second career. My first career had been with the Army. I was sponsored to do my degree and my A was back by the Army, and then I got injured and had to have a bit of a rethink as to what I wanted to do. I realised that the things that really motivated me were leading people, training leaders, and understanding how you could help people to be the very, very best they can be. That is really what HR is. why I've really followed an HR career. So I've worked for Unilever in 4 countries, which has been a really great thing about working with this company. I've worked for Unilever in the UK, in the Netherlands, Belgium, and the US. I really loved being based in the US. I looked after Food Solutions, which is our food service business in North and South America. It was a really, really great job, difficult job, but a really good experience. I also really loved one of the first jobs that I did was a factory HR manager in Warrington factory, the first factory that William Lever set up in Warrington. We still make soap powder. I became the VP after about 12 years, quite quick. I spent the first few years building basic capabilities in different areas of HR, but the move to VP after that time was a big step. It is challenging. It is always challenging moving to a different job, often a different place during your career, but it is worth it. Because after a while, you start to build the confidence that you can operate wherever you put with whatever problem comes your way. And you know how to fix things by using the people around you and the skills and the experience you have. So every day in this role is varied. It depends what's happening that day. There are days that are full of meetings with people in my team, trying to make sure that we're solving the right problem, they have all they want, and they can support their needs. There are days that are full of external things. In this company, we get to talk to a lot of people who make decisions in our society, in our economy, who want our point of view, or they want us to help. We have days that are quieter days where we actually get to do work. One of the things that we're doing is looking at how we can develop the board to be really clear about the company's purpose, how it connects to their purpose, so they can lead from themselves, their own character and their own values. We're going to be doing that with the wider leadership team. But also, we've been working on how all those teams focus on what really, really counts around them, focus on the big issues to get those resolved, and how they can learn to prioritize away the things that don't matter quite so much. So developing leaders is a really big thing that I take a big role in every day.
Okay.
Character
So this is the CHR. We recently called that Chief HR Officer, then the HR Director something. We have a CHRO. Okay. Anyway, so this guy. Okay. So yeah, what the CHRO or what the leaders of the HR field they are working. They are doing the acquiring, training, developing, staffing, reward, exit. They are talking a lot about the technical things of the HR. No, they are talking very strange things. Okay. For example, HR manager or the HR staff, they must talk about the acquiring, training, staffing, reward, exit. No, they are talking about it. They define themselves as a business partner. And they are talking about it, the branding. And they are talking about it, the employee experiences, user experience. Okay, what is the mission of the Apple? They provided the best user experience. And they are Unilever, HR is now talking a lot about it, the employee experience. Oh, HR is not of this. So now, because HR is to creating and sustain the competitive advantage, HR is much more focusing on these kind of things. This strategy it is considered as a strategic management. Okay, managers, HR managers, they are doing the business partnership, branding, employee experiences. Okay. On the other hand, CHRO or the chief HR officer or the HR director at the Unilever, he talks a lot about the developing leadership. Okay, developing the competency and developing and then aligning their purpose, organizational purpose, organizational value, and overall, we can understand that they are goals of the company. Okay, so then, a long story short, recently, HR is dedicating itself as not just managing people. Okay? What is the purpose of managing people in the business organization? We want to solve the business problems through people. Okay? So HR cannot be separated, while HR, people management, cannot be independent from the business problem solving. Okay? And more fundamentally, HR is now heading to the strategic partnership, strategic partnering with the business problem solving. So if there is any chance, HR expert, HR people must engage in business problem solving. And what is our business problems? Do you remember? Do you remember what is our business problems? Make money, okay? But however, making money is our purpose. But however, what is our business problem? The problem we have only one. We want to increase revenue. We want to decrease cost. And increasing revenue is easy. No, that's our problem. And decreasing cost is easy. No, that's our problem. So HR, no matter what, must be able to talk about it, increasing revenue, decreasing cost to make more money. Okay. However, the traditional HR, okay, they never participated in problem solving of this because usually HR said, "Oh, I don't know about it, accounting. I don't know about the finance. I don't know much about it, the operation. I don't know much about it, the manufacturing. I am independent from the money side. I have no idea. I'm a HR. I just give the people enough money something. Okay, that's not my job. Bullshit. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, just go to the HR. And then, for example, go to our school's HR. What are they doing? They are participating in the revenue increasing or decreasing costs, or they are engaging in the creating a competitive advantage to win without fighting, or they are engaging in the problem solving. They define themselves as a supporting step. Supporting. If there is a problem, okay, it's a personal problem, I can help you. But however, they do not participate in the preventing those kind of problems or addressing the root cause of the problem. And then they say, because I'm a HR, what the HR? Okay, so nowadays, fundamentally, there is a big changes, there is a big gaps of understanding and of practice. While many HR think these are their major functions. Yes. However, more fundamentally, recently, this can be outsourced. Okay, this can be outsourced, and we HR guys, HR is becoming more strategy partners in order to address the business problem solving through managing people. Okay, that's HR. Now, I think so. We think so. Many HR experts and many HR guys, we think so. We are heading to that direction. While many of the HR experts, many of the HR staff members, and newly coming the HR managers, newly coming the HR staff, they think that they are doing this. No. And that is the reason why nowadays we get rid of the HR function, outsource, and no HR department. No HR department. And then, however, somebody must perform this managing people side. Who do that? Managers. Traditionally, the people management is done by the HR, but however, recently, manager usually got the full authority of the managing people as well. While this kind of the supporting functions are outsourced. Okay. So we will see. We'll see more. Okay. So that's the daily routine of the HR manager. While we have we have understanding of HR is somewhat independent from the strategy management or the business problem solving, but no. The HR manager at the unit level and the HR VP, vice president, or the CHRO, and they are engaging in business problem solving more and more. And interestingly, there is a very interesting thing. This guy, chief HR officer, and his previous job, where did he come from originally? He was a officer at Army. And I can say the tradition of, I can say that the origins of the modern HR and human resource management come from Army. And more specifically, I can say training or time, training or industry. Okay? In the First and the Second World War, okay, something was happened. Something was happened. We will see. Okay. So during the World War I, okay, so we have a lot of problems. Anyway, so in the Second World War II, something was happened. For example, yeah, in the US, okay, in the US, many young guys, okay, many young guys from the 20 to the 40 years old, okay, those men, okay, kidnapped and then collected and then they are captured. They are captured and they sent to the army, okay, and they were developed as a soldier, and many soldiers died during the World War II, right? Good, good. So, however, somebody must make that the weapon, guns, gunships, airplane, airjet, and cannon, something. Okay. If there is no 20 to 40 or the 20 to 50 years old man who made those kind of things? Who made those guys? Who made those kind of weapons at the time? There is no young guys who must work hard. Huh? Huh? Exactly. And while many men was now available in the workplace, okay, and the woman must work to produce cannons, bullets, guns, gunships, shipbuildings, a lot. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the start of the woman's working. Yeah, during the World War II. Who can produce that kinds of things with no 20 to 50 years old guys? They are all in the field. They are all in the battlefield. They are fighting. They kill each other. Soviet Union, Germany, US, Japan. So who produced those kind of weapons? Women. Okay. Unfortunately, at the time, your grandma, our grandma, okay, and they had no idea about how to produce the car, how to produce the guns, how to produce the weapons, how to produce the cannons, right? Yeah, how we can do that, and how women can do that. Your grandma can do that. No, but however, we must do that. Good. Then we have a dilemma. We have a dilemma at the time. Only available workforce, only available people is women. However, woman has no idea about it, how to produce machines, how to produce weapons, how to produce guns, how to produce something. Okay, what do we do? Training in wartime. Okay, convert. Woman as workforce. And then in order to do that, okay, so we must be able to train, we must convert the woman as a good, skillful worker within 6 weeks. 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks. No matter what, as soon as possible, we must be able to convert those unskilled labor workers as a skilled labor worker. Regardless of the gender, regardless of the, okay? How we can do that? Then we develop a lot of HR techniques. We developed the ADDIE model, training development model. Okay, so that's the ADDIE model. Analyze, develop, the delivery, and the instruction design and the evaluation of the ADDIE model. And then many of the strategic compensation, strategy payment, and then there are a lot of the techniques for the HR techniques. Training development, the leadership training, competence development, skill development, and many of the HR practices were invented during the World War II, World War I, World War II. Vocational education was part of that. So HR has a direct father of work. Our direct father is of work. So many of the military operations, many of the military weapons, military something practices, manager or something is transferred to business, especially in terms of the managing. So technically speaking, many HR practices, many HR come from army. Some desire war come from army. Strategy management come from army. HR come from army. So that if you can understand the significance of the HR, okay, we are not an easy task. HR is not an easy task because if we fail in managing people, we totally lose. This is not a play in the game. This is a war. Really. So many of HR directors, CHROs, they have a background of the army. Natural. Okay. So you know that what is the mood and what is the environment, and what is the significance of the army operation. Organized, no mistake. If something is wrong, we must be ready to kill somebody. Really, we are serious. If something wrong, everybody get a risk. If I have to kill somebody, okay, to save more people, I'm ready. Who do that? Unfortunately. That's our so the HR is like a military operation. We are not an angel. Technically, we are not an angel, and we usually are devil's advocate. And there are a lot of misunderstandings. So HR, okay, nice people. They try to care. Yeah, evil. Unfortunately, because that is necessary. If nobody do that, okay, how we can complete our work? Okay, good. And then these are the summaries of the HR department responsibility. Okay, all right. Analysis and the design of the work, the recruitment, the selection, training and development, performance management, compensation, benefit, employee relations, personnel policies, compliance with laws, and the support for the strategy, whatever. And these kind of things, these technical things is done by these. And however, we are now becoming to a business strategy partners. Anyway, okay, and the strategy. Strategy is formulating the business objectives and utilizing the resources to achieve those objectives. In recent fast changing business environment and culture, supporting and shaping the business strategy by using the human resources become more critical to achieve the objectives. Okay, so what is a strategy? What is the purpose of strategy? Simply win. Okay, and however, we apply that the more higher level of the strategy objectives, that is win without fighting, art of war. Okay, and definition by in the dictionary, we can define that the strategy is a process by which that the basic mission and the objectives, goal, okay, of the organization are set, and the process by which that the organization uses its research to achieve those objectives. That's a technical definition of the by Michael T.C. Michael T.C. Michael T.C. is my advisor at the University of Michigan Law School. And actually, the Michael T.C. and the Jack Welch, those two old guys, and Jack Welch is a graduate at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign with a PhD of the chemical engineering. Do you know Jack Welch? General Electric CEO, many years. And he, leadership, developing the business leadership, okay? And do you know that who created the best business leadership in the world? Who? Where? Harvard MBA? No. Quantum Center at General Electric. General Electric. Do you know that General Electric was established by the Thomas Edison? And the Thomas Edison, after the Thomas Edison, General Electric is becoming larger, and that was becoming one of the largest manufacturing company in the world. Anyway, General Electric has long been the academy for the business leadership. And out of the Fortune 500, around that the 40% of those Fortune 500 CEOs graduate that Quantum Center. They were trained at the General Electric. So technically speaking, General Electric Quantum Center is the best business leadership center in the world. Okay, Fortune 500, the US. Anyway, so who developed this and who made this Quantum Center? Michael T.C., University of Michigan professor, and Jack Welch together. Those two guys, Jack Welch, T.C., at Michigan University, and plus Jack Welch, General Electric CEO and the chairman. These two old guys, they wanted to develop the best of the best business talent. Okay, business talent, business leadership, business talent, business manager. Okay, and then they were unhappy. They were not happy to have the Harvard MBAs, MIT MBA programs. So then, when they design and they established that the Quantum Center is within the General Electric, and then they invite world-leading the business leaders, and then they develop and they work together. They work together to get things done together with the General Electric, and then they make this kind of things in order to contribute to developing the more business leaders. And the Quantum graduate, do you know? Samsung chairman Lee Jae-woong graduate. And absolutely Alibaba, Jack Ma was here. And many of the business leaders, world level or the world class business leaders, they once participated here. That's a different story. Yeah, anyway, and TC, Michael TC and the Jack Welch, they propose a few number of the managing people principles, and one of those biggest difference of the people management, people development principle of these guys is all level employee development from the top to bottom. From the top to bottom, they must work hard to develop themselves. For example, okay, many CEOs and many executives, many managers are good at, hey, go to the training program. I will let you have. Go to the training program. Please go to the learning something. Learn something new. And however, managers, they don't know. Hey, CEO. And CEO usually say, yeah, hey, yo, sure. The quality of the managers, quality of the employees defines that our success or failure. So everybody must work hard to learn something new. And what are you doing, the CEO? Are you learning for the AI? Do you know what is happening at the AI? Absolutely, CEO or the executive are too busy to learn something new. They are totally behind of the trend. They are totally behind of the problem solving. What are they talking about? So, Jack Welch and Michael TC, and they observed those kind of problem a lot, and then they proposed we should develop all level employees from bottom to top, top to bottom, no exception. Okay, and they propose the concept of teaching organization. And there is a concept of the learning organization, learning from each other. Okay, however, they more actively engage in learning. Then these two guys, these two old guys, they propose teaching organization. Everybody within the organization, they must be able to teach something for others. For example, newly entered, newly coming young generation, 25 years old young engineer must be able to teach what is the Python, what is the artificial intelligence to their CEO. Possible? Absolutely possible. And the CEO must be able to learn something new from anybody. And the manager must be listened to another manager. And the employees can learn something from CEO. And the executives must be able to learn something from the sales marketer. And then that means everybody must be able to teach. What is the best way to learn something new? Okay, absolutely. Michael TC. Yeah, actually, my advisor. I have technically three advisors in the academy, University of Illinois, and then my first advisor was Dr. What is it, Jeffrey Fraser, and he came from the Navy, and he was a submarine commander in the U.S. Navy. And anyway, he got the PhD at the University of Illinois and the leadership development. And actually, his advisor was Michael T.C. at the University of Michigan. And he directly learned from those kind of concepts. And his boss at the Evo Lab was a graduate of the Quantum Center. So that he learned those kind of the concepts, how to develop people from those students, former students, and the designers of it. So then my advisor told me, this is the core concept of the developing people in American business. Everybody must be able to teach. Oh yeah, everybody talks about it, a learning organization. Oh, everybody must be able to learn something new, but that's not enough. You must be able to teach. Okay, and all level of the employees must be able to teach. CEOs, and especially this is not a target for the young guys, something. No, they are okay. They learn many things by themselves. It's fine. And it's target to the leadership. Leadership development. Managers, high-rank managers, high-rank executives, and the CEOs and the CFOs, CHROs, they learn something? No, they don't. They stop developing themselves because yeah, okay, so we call that is a problem to saturation, that's a problem. Career problem. You are becoming an executive. And then is there any way to work better? To become a CEO? Nah, not much. We call that is a career problem. Okay, and these guys have a motivation to grow themselves more? No, they want to keep their job. They don't need to learn something new. You know that the learning is very painful. They have no motivation to learn something. And they just want to keep their job. They just want to not changing anything because I am enjoying my life. Don't touch me. Don't challenge me. Don't teach me. I will not do anything. I will not listen to you. No, don't. I'm enjoying my life. Michael TC and Joe Welch really challenging the situation. Like break the ceiling, go higher. Okay. Anyway, so this is a story of the human. Yeah, this is a story of the leadership development. Okay, and this is a definition of the strategy from the Michael TC. Okay, and what is the business strategy? And the business strategy, yeah, maybe we can think of the business strategy a lot. However, yeah, maybe we better to understand that the basics of the business strategy tools. Okay, there are many of the different business strategy schools. And there are many different business strategy schools. And Lynchburg, competitor of the Michael Porter, the professor, Michael Porter was a Harvard business professor. Okay, and he proposed the business strategy, blah blah. He's a father of the business strategy. However, his idea is always good. No, and there is a very big challenger, Lynchburg. Kelly Lynchburg comes, and he is a Canadian, and he graduated MIT with the mechanical engineering, and he got his PhD from the MIT. Okay, and then he's becoming one of the smartest business strategy consultant and the business strategy the scholars. Whatever, Lynchburg think the strategy in a different way. Okay, maybe then he proposed this. Lynchburg categorized the 10 business strategy schools into 3 groups: prescriptive group, describing group, and the configuration group, whatever. And the decline of the rational strategy means that in 1980s and the 90s, the business environment was getting more complex. Prescriptive strategy formulation was getting unable to address those complex business situation. So then we need a different concepts and the paradigms of the business strategy. And describing group focuses on incremental strategy alignment through the learning, and then describing the group describing the formulation of the strategy as incremental processes of learning and align the strategy as a business exponent something. Okay, whatever. What does that mean? We can understand this kind of things in this way. Okay. Sorry. Page is. Okay, good. So this is the depiction of how to understand that the three business strategy groups. Okay. So, long story short, we can easily understand what is a strategy in like this. Prescription group, including the Michael Porter and the Harvard business guys, okay? They believe strategy is formulated. For example, what is the job of the Michael Porter? What is his job? What he's doing, Michael Porter. What is job of the Michael Porter? He's the professor of Harvard Business School. Okay. I am a professor. However, Michael Porter is the professor. Can you capture the difference? He's the professor who opened a totally new realm of the academic field, strategy management. So he is the professor. He is a genius. He is a totally brilliant mind. He is the father of the strategy management. He is the professor. However, I'm nothing. I'm just a professor. Okay. So Michael Porter and his colleagues, and they are brilliant. They are elite. They are totally brilliant, smart. They are smartest people in the world, and they are the brilliant ones. They are genius. So only these guys formulate the strategy. They formulate the best strategy. Okay, good. Just small numbers of these guys. Small number of the brilliant minds, small numbers of the smart guys, they can consider the best business strategy. And then the others, those stupid guys, what should we do? We just achieve that. Just achieve the strategy because that must be right. Okay. That's a planning. Good. Okay. Because that we believe that a few number of the smart people, a few number of the leaders, a few number of the Harvard business graduate, a few number of the brilliant mind, and a few number of the elite, they take care of everything, and then they can bring the best strategy. And then the others, we must follow that, we must achieve that goal. Okay. Plan the economy. Okay, good. That is true. And we need more brilliant mind, something. Okay, good. They are smart. Good. However, until the 1960s and the 70s, that works better. That works okay. However, after the 1990s, business environment is totally changed because of the computer, because of the internet, because of the knowledge spread. Knowledge. Everybody gets smarter. And now, can we say those Harvard business graduates are smarter than the artificial intelligence? And they are smarter than the graduate of the San Francisco University? No. And the Zhejiang University graduate are smarter than the Wenjuan University graduate? No. Who can say that? Because they got a better Gaokao score? Beijing University are smart? and Tsinghua University graduates are smart. Unfortunately, because I'm not Chinese, I have no idea about what is the system of the education system in China. So that I have no idea, I have no bias of the Beijing University graduate, Tsinghua University. They are just college, and I've never heard that. Okay, I have no idea. Zhejiang University, okay, that's a local university something. And however, do you know that the Aachen University in Germany? Have you ever heard of the Humboldt University? Have you ever heard of Free Berlin University? How about the Handelshochschule Leipzig? They are the best German business school. Oh, you don't know. Like that. I have no idea about the Beijing University, Tsinghua University, and the Zhejiang University. I have no idea. Okay. However, we came together, okay, and then we worked together. Unfortunately, for my impression, they are not listening. And they have no interest in solving the problem. And the Harvard graduate, and those guys, they always say, oh, I graduated the Beijing, so what? I graduated the Tsinghua, okay, so what? So I graduated Harvard, okay, so what? Can you get things done? Different. Different, okay? So that is a problematic. That is becoming a problematic. Strategy is not work. The formulated strategy, that formulated by the few number of brilliant mind or the few number of elite, that kind of the formulated plan, the strategy is not working well in this quickly changing business environment. However, we want to find a better solutions in no matter what. Okay, so then meanwhile, people get to know, people want to know what is the key success factor of the leading. Why a few number of the companies are winning? For example, why Apple is very strong, and what is the secret of the keys? What is the secret or the confidential or something, and what is the recipe of the success? For example, Apple, blah blah blah, and then the DJI, why those companies are good at, and then why the leaders are good at something. So then many scholars and the business consultants, they describe the case. They describe the case of the business success. And then they try to find out the describe the key success factors. And then they want to share that kinds of the recipe, that kinds of the strategies, that kinds of the understandings. That's a descriptive, we call they are the descriptive group. Okay, and then many of they are business professors, business consultants, like me. So I write it down by observation. Okay, when I observe that the Huawei, what's happening in this and the case studies, blah, blah. Okay, so then maybe we can have a better understanding. We can learn from the DJI. Okay, so we call that is a description. So that is the reason why we have a lot of business to talk about the key success factors of those companies. Okay, good. And however, they are good at observe. But they don't do anything. They do not solve the problem. Okay, they propose the idea of the problem solving idea. Okay, they observe. However, we want to get things done. We want to get things done in this quickly changing business environment. What can we do? So then gradually in 1990s, somebody is coming, and Helen Minchberg and his friends, including myself, including my boss, including my advisor, okay, we become a configuration group, okay, and we participate. We're participating in business problem solving, okay, and strategy is formulating. Strategy is not formulated by a few number of the people, but strategy itself is formulating according to the continual interactions with the situation, with the people, with the resources, something. So strategy itself is evolving. Strategy itself is changing over time. Okay, so a long story short, strategy schools can be categorized by three. First, prescription group, description group, configuration group, okay? And then strategy is formulated by a few number of the elite. That's one thing. Still, business consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG, and the many business consulting firms believe this, and that's the reason why they always hire the best school graduate, Harvard, MBA, or the MIT, UPenn, Watson. Okay, that's the best brilliant mind. Okay, strategy is formulated. However, many business scholars, including professors and business consultants, we archive, document, and we propose that a better understanding what is the key success factors of those successful businesses in order to let people have a better understanding, better learning. However, there is a few number of the groups of the configuration group participating in the business problem solving, okay? And that is evolving continually throughout the interactions. Okay, so then out of many, learning is becoming important. What is the meaning of the strategy is formulating? How we formulate, how we change the strategy throughout learning. What is the definition of the learning? Change the behavior. Okay, change the strategy. Changing strategy. Okay, good. So this is that. Human resources as a leverage of the configuration group. So strategy can form as well as be formulated. Once the strategy is formulated by a few number of the brilliant mind. However, that is changed and throughout the process. So strategy can form, strategy is formulating, okay, as well as the formulated. This emergent property of the strategy allows that the human resource functions to exercise a considerable strategy, leveraging shaping the future direction of the organization. So that is now the core of the people management. We want to let people keep learning and changing in order to achieve the goals better throughout formulating strategy and configuring the strategy. Okay, not just giving money, not just giving HR something. No, that's the technical things. Okay, a long story short. Okay, what are we doing? HR manager traditionally took the role of the supporter, okay, and the technical support, functional manager, HR expertise, but no, not anymore. We are now changing our roles to the business strategists, strategy partners, okay, executive meeting, conceptual skills, and directions. So that is our trend of the human resource management, I think. Okay, we hope so, but not easy. Okay, so let's have a short break and let's continue that. Okay, second.
Okay.
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 Okay. Hello,
Mhm.
Professor.
Let's start again. Okay. Good. Yeah, let's go. Okay, good. And we are talking about the human resource management itself. Okay. A long story short, human resource management is now fundamentally changing from supporting functions to the strategic partnership. Okay. So that is our trend. We hope so. We hope so. And however, okay, so we will see what is happening. And however, so the new HR manager role is becoming, we are much more focusing on strategy. Strategy, okay? Strategy management is nothing but we want to create and sustain the competitive advantage. The human resource management manager, okay? We focus on cultivating and sustaining and keeping our competitive advantage that come from people, okay? So then we focus on the strategy more than the supporting one functional functions, okay? And focus on the improving the performance, absolutely. And measure the HR performance and the result is getting important, okay? And use evidence-based HR management. Many HR managers, okay, so there is no evidence like the data, okay? So human resource work is need a lot of the statistical something or the evidence or the quantitative data something. Traditionally, no. But nowadays, HR or the people management is getting more one of the most quantitative field of the study. That means we use a lot of artificial intelligence, people analysis techniques, big data, okay? Why that kinds of things is happening? For example, we have a professor of the business analytics and the people analytics expert in the world. Anyway, I kidnapped him from the Pennsylvania State University. Okay, and what he's doing, and then one of his role and then one of his program or the APP was we use LinkedIn or we use resume, right? Okay, we use resume and we submit our resume to the company to get a job, to apply for the job, okay? And however, traditionally HR get those kind of resume and the SOP and the cover letters and we screened out something. But however, nowadays, we use a people analytics software. When we got the resume, that is input to the people analytics software, APP, and then we have a certain quantitative data analysis, measures HR performance, and then almost immediately, according to our competence-based model, according to our the HR functional model, something, okay, we can predict. This candidate is good for this job, or this candidate is appropriate to function this kind of work, and this candidate is good at this kind of work or not. Almost within 1 second, we can do that. That's a trend, for sure. Measure HR performance and the result and use evidence-based human resource management, use a lot of the quantitative data, use a lot of the data. That's our work now. Okay, so HR is not an art something, this is scientific more. Anyway, they add value and many times acquiring, recruiting, those kind of things is cost center. We use a lot of money to get those kind of HR functions done. However, nowadays, HR people management need to concern what kinds of value we can add, we can contribute, no matter what. We want to increase revenue, we want to decrease cost. And the HR people management must be related with that, increase revenue, decrease cost. Okay, good. And they use a new way to provide the HR service. For example, outsourcing, and then more artificial intelligence backed or the software backed, the evidence-based backed HR functions and training programs. For example, nowadays, more than 70% of the employee training is done by online. Oh, sure. So then, for example, I'm working for the Kane University. Okay, so the faculty members must complete that the gender bias or the DI diversity equity and the inclusion training program. Okay, good. And how I can complete that? Do I need to come to Game USA? No, I just complete my online class. Then I got a certificate. Every year we must do that. So more than 70 or 80% of employee training program is done by online. Any problem? No problem. And then last year I completed the IRB director, the certificate program. Yeah, it takes around 17 weeks, but however, I complete that. And even though I didn't step on my foot at the US, that was done. Okay, sure. So we use that kinds of the HR services a lot. We have hopefully better tools to manage people. Okay, good. And new human resource development manager, they take a talent management approach. That means talent management approach is, okay, that is related to the development and the training and development. Okay, and traditionally we usually talk about the human resource management. But however, no, not human resource something. We use the term of the talent management. Talent. We don't care about the individuals. No. We take care of any kinds of people who have certain forming talent. Potential. We don't care about the age. We don't care about the gender. We don't care about anything about the personal differences. But we are developing the certain talent who can perform this work. Not individual. We don't care about the individual. Any individuals can participate in the talent. Okay? So that is a difference from the human resource management from the talent management approach. Talent management doesn't care about the individual. It takes care of can you do it? Well, anybody okay. Regardless of the gender, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of the age, we don't care. If there is anybody who can perform this, talent. And we invest in developing that talent. Not individual. Okay, good. And they manage employee engagement, okay, making the people get motivated. And yeah, okay, so how many percent of people are zombies? 70%. Okay. More than 70% of people are not engaged in their work. Okay. So then who need to take care of that? People management. So we must be able to get people motivated. Okay, good. And then the HR manages the ethics. And who take care of the ethics? HR, CEO, executives. Do you think that the engineers take care of the ethics? R&D, sales, marketing? Who take care of the business ethics? CEO? Why we have a lot of the accounting fraud? Anyway, actually, I think business ethics and the business value must be managed and controlled and inspired by top leadership. Okay, and unfortunately, top leadership has no expertise in creating and managing those kind of ethics or values. So then many times CEO delegate their power, they're concerning the ethics work to HR. And the HR is taking care of those kind of the ethics office, ethics value, and the vandalizing or the sabotages or the bullying and many of the ethics is now happening. We will talk about that kinds of things later. But however, even though top management must take care of the ethics most, but however, because they are busy and they don't have expertise of that, so then they delegate their power to HR. And the HR usually person in charge in taking care of the business ethics, management ethics. But however, if there is an ethical problem, and usually that is raised to the top decision makers, and then finally they should make a decision. Anyway, The HR understand their HR philosophy, value, ethics, value. Okay, so we will talk about it, the goals of the business ethics. And they have new competencies. Where's competency? Okay, competency. Yeah, competency. Developing leadership, developing competency. Okay, and that is developing the purpose, value, goals. Okay, so these are the done by the CHRO and the HR directors that is compatible with this. Okay, so that's a new roles of the HR leaders, HR managers. Okay. Good. And the new HR resource and new HR managers must have a big picture in terms of the strategy. Okay. And the transactional service like acquiring, and then that's a technical support, talent management, not just the individual management, business ethics care, and then employee engagement, motivating people, performance result, and that is backed by the evidence, okay, numbers. And then competence development is the key function of the recent HR leader, HR directors. HR directors is concerning, and they are dedicated in developing leadership, developing competency, developing goals, purpose, value, and then that kinds of ethics. Okay? That's a new role of HR. Okay. Good. And the competencies of the HR manager. HR manager must be able to do this kind of things. What is the competency? Where's competency? Here, competency, okay? And competency traditionally is counted as knowledge, skill, ability, and others. We call these knowledge is KSAO, knowledge, skill, ability as a competency. Can you do it? Can you complete this? Can you get this done by your knowledge, skills, ability? We call they are the competency, okay? And what kinds of knowledge, what kinds of skills, what kinds of ability we should have as an HR manager here, strategy positioner, we must be a strategist, okay? And the credible activities, we must participate in problem solving. We must be able to participate in problem solving, okay? Capability builder, learner, teacher, teaching organization, okay? Good. And HR innovators and the integrators, synthesizer, catalyzer, who can organize people, leading people, okay? And the technology proponent, even though we are not a technical problem solver, but however, we must be able to use a lot of the tools, okay? And people analytics tools, artificial intelligence tools to manage, to handle the people problem. Okay? Good. And then here, context, out of the business context, we want to become the strategy partners. And then within the organization, we want to have a capability builder, technology proponent, and the HR innovator, integrator, change champion, leaders, leading people. And however, individually, we should have a credible activist who can participate in business problem solving, who has a foundation of the business ethics, business values, and the business goals that is aligned with that organization. Okay, that is our suggestion. That's our wanting. This is our desirable competencies of the HR manager. We want to become like this. Is it easy? No, that's not easy. We are trying. Okay, good. And however, this is somewhat too technical to understand. Okay, so then I'd better to propose that the more simple understanding what is the competency for the business problem solver and the manager. And this is pinches and the methods that require the skills by level. Okay, So then everybody can do this kind of things as as HR somebody? No, it depends on the level. When you just get hired by the entry-level manager, organization expect a totally different something. And then when you become a middle-level manager, expectation is differentiating. When you become the CEO, when you become the final decision maker, that's totally different story. We must think of the levels. We must think of the different roles, desirable roles or expected roles. That is this. So we must have a few number of skills, fundamental skills for the management problem solving. Technical skill, social skill, and conceptual skill. Okay. However, when you become the entry-level manager or the first newly hired employee, you are required to perform the many technical things. Technical. Okay. The bookkeeping or the calculating something and the completing the PowerPoint or the Excel and the calculate, make a report. That kind of the fundamental and the basic work must be done by those entry-level manager or the entry-level employee. Okay, and the copy, sending an email. Okay, that kind of things. Okay, that's trivial, but low-value job must be done. So in order to do that, the technical skills are highly required. Okay, how many for entry-level manager or for entry-level employee? Technical skills is highly required. Okay, this is most important for the entry-level somebody. However, after 5 years or 7 years later, they become the middle-level manager. Middle-level manager. And what is the role of the middle-level manager? They must be a bridge. The bridge between the entry-level employee, the frontline employees, to top management. They must be becoming the bridge. Okay, good. So then that means they need more social skills. And they are good at technical skills because they work more than 5 or 7 years. So then they are good at the technical skills. But however, they need better to guide entry-level manager, entry-level employees. Help them out. On the other hand, they must get older, they must interpret that the leadership's the intention, purpose, something. Okay? So they play like a playing coach. Social skills are getting more important. Okay? And however, when you become the top CEO, top executive, and then you are required to make a bookkeeping or making a good relationship with everybody, no. You, leader, should give us a direction. Where should we go? Where should we go? And what is our goal? And then what is your strategy? And what do you expect from us? Conceptual skills are more important for leaders. Okay, so then, yeah, here are 3 compositions of the required skills, required competencies for the managers, including HR manager, technical skills, technology-based HR service, HRIS, HR core, training and development, online learning, and skills like a measurement, performance measures, evidence-based approach, and profit center, result-oriented profit centers, MIS system, ERP system. That's the HR entry-level HR employee. And social skills, okay? There is a leading changes, building capabilities, securing the credibility, capitalizing and connecting people. That's the social skills for the middle-level managers, okay? They are not the entry-level employee. They are not the leadership. But however, they need to make a bridge, okay? Persuade the subordinate and persuade the leadership. They play like a playing coach. Sometimes they play well, and sometimes they need to play as a director. Yeah, that's most important. That's not easy. Okay, anyway, the conceptual skills, strategy partnering, strategy leadership, and strategy human resource management is to achieve that strategy aims, strategy goals. performance improvement expert, goal-oriented talent management service, and employee engagement service, active philosophy, and the role service for whole organization. That's their leadership of HR. So that is the reason why the HR leader, he talked a lot about developing the leadership, developing competence, developing the goals, purpose, value, ethics. That's the HR manager's conceptual skill that is required. Okay, good. Anyway, so in HR, we have this golden word in our HR field. Hire for aptitude, fire for attitude. That's a reality. That's a reality. Okay. We acquire people who looks like he or she is competent, who can perform this work well. And why if I need an artificial intelligence engineer, okay, and then I better to search for somebody who can do this kind of artificial intelligence work. That's all. That's it. So then we call that is aptitude. Aptitude is capability, what skills, what knowledge in a certain field. Aptitude. Okay. And SAT, Gaokao, like a Gaokao, SAT. Okay. So that's a American, the Gaokao. That is Scholastic Aptitude Test. Capability test. So Gaokao looks like an aptitude test, capability test. Can you perform this kind of work? That's aptitude. So then traditionally, we hire people for their aptitude, who looks smart. Okay. However, we fire somebody because of their aptitude or competency or skills. No. We usually fire somebody because of their bad attitude. Okay. So we have this rule. And however, recently I am suggesting, what if we can hire attitude, fire for attitude? Let's opposite. Okay? And nowadays, everybody is a good owner. Everybody can use that artificial. Everybody can access to the knowledge. So then, I don't care about their attitude. Everybody will get better. Okay? So then, however, attitude is not easy to change. So then, possibly, I hope we'd better to hire those guys who has a appropriate, optimal, fit attitude to a certain job. Then we develop them. Okay? And however, there must be somebody who cannot acquire, who do not learn, and who do not perform their job because of their lack of the aptitude. Then maybe we'd better to let them go out. Not for their attitude, but for their aptitude. I think so. And then Netflix is now trying to do that. Okay, we will see that example. Anyway, so this is the golden rule of the HR now. Okay, traditionally, but however, these are now changing from opposite, hire for attitude, fire for aptitude. We will see that kinds of case at the Netflix. And unfortunately, Netflix do not have HR. But however, the Netflix made the greatest impact on the people management field. We will see. Okay, and they do hire for attitude, fire for aptitude. We will see. Okay, so line manager and the HR manager. What is the commonalities and what is the differences from the line manager and the HR manager? Okay, line manager. Okay, so the usually product line manager or the operational manager at the bank and many. Okay, they place the right person in the right job and starting new employees in the organization, training employees for the jobs that are new to them and improving the job performance of each person, gaining operations and interpreting the company's policy procedures, something. No, that's totally, yeah. Oh, okay. And then creating the maintaining the department of morale, protecting the employees' health and the physical. Line manager of the HR, line manager of the front line manager of the HR, they do this kind of technical things. On the other hand, HR managers role, HR director, high level of the HR, CHRO, they do line functions as well, absolutely. However, they do the coordinative functions and they develop the steps and assist and advise the functions. Okay. Well, even though that is written in the textbook like that, managers who manage people, but however, that is now changing. That is now changing. You don't need to memorize everything. But however, that is a traditional understanding. But however, that is now changing a lot. Okay. And HR manager. This is a summary of the HR manager's work. HR manager, okay, traditionally, HR manager was thought as HR line manager, but no, not anymore. They are becoming the strategist, strategy problem solver. Okay, strategy partners, strategy human resource management to achieve the strategy aids and the performance improvement expert and the scientific manager, evidence-based one, quantitative data, okay, performance measures, more quantitative data, okay, and then also HR manager should take a lot of the service provider, they perform their line work, okay, good, and technology-based HR services, goal-oriented talent management service, scientific evidence provider, employee engagement service, motivating and ethics philosophy and the law service, absolutely. And the HR manager's competence is sensory and actuating. Sensory means that thinking and capturing the external changes, monitoring internal capabilities and the strategy positioning, thinking. Okay. However, they must take action. Action is leading changes, building capabilities, securing credibilities, and capitalizing and connecting people. Social skills, technical skills, and conceptual skills. Okay, this is a summary of the HR manager. This is what the HR managers are doing. Okay, we think so. However, unfortunately, that is quickly changing. Okay, and the fundamentals of the HRM, fundamentals of the human resource management, strategy of human resource management is one. Okay, and the strategy human resource management tools, we talk, strategy maps, scorecard, dashboard, HR metrics, benchmarking. I will introduce a few, and the transformational HR practice, high performance worker system, quality system. Okay, and we learned a lot from the Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, Apple, he managed people in order to keep the best person to serve for Apple. Apple's mission. What is Apple's mission? Provide the best user experience. Okay? And in order to achieve that mission, he made argument. He talked with the person in charge. He tried to make his organization as a best idea winning organization, not hierarchy. That's how he managed people. Then how we can do that? Strategy to HR practice, okay? Strategy and the human resource management. And the human resource management and the people management, talent management is getting more important because we want to create and sustain the competitive advantage. Why? Because we want to win without fighting. Competitive advantage. And the competitive advantage's root to source is people, not money. Okay. So strategy, human resource management is formulating and executing the HR policies and the practices that produce the employees' competencies and the behaviors the company needs to achieve its strategy aims. And we call that is a competitive advantage. Competitive advantage, more specifically speaking, that come from the competency. What the people can do. Okay. Good. And the strategy in action, action plan, new strategy, new employee competencies and behavior, new HR policies and practices. Okay. And the human strategy, human resource management tools, strategy, human resource management practices, metrics we have, strategy map, scenario planning, HR scorecard, dashboard, KPI, key performance index, and nowadays we talk a lot about OKR, objective for the key results that come from the Google OKR, and the HRIS, a human resource information system. That's a part of the MIS system, management information system, and that is represented by the two things: ERP, SAP ERP, and Oracle ERP. Okay. A high-performance work system or the quality management system is a management system that requests for a specific quality of the people. Okay. High-performance work system is a set of the human resource management policies and the practice that promote organizational effectiveness. And then we can use Six Sigma activity, and we can use that the many quality management system, including the TPS, Toyota Production System, Kanban system, self-production system, CIP system, continuous improvement system, and there are tons of thousands, those kind of the management system improvement. And nowadays, we are now talking a lot about the ESG, environment, social responsibility, and the governance. And then after there are a few number of the regulations of the sustainability, all those kind of things are high performance work system. And then there is a part of the accreditation, evaluation of the capability of the management. If we want to show our credibility in managing those kind of things better, we must get those kind of certificates. QS 9000, ISO 14001. We have tons of thousands, those kind of certificates, because we need to prove we can do this kind of in a proper manner, effectively and efficiently. That's our proof. If we don't have the source, if we do not prove ourselves, no one wants to make a business with me. For example, there is a production company, okay? Where is Janet, okay? Janet's company is now want to sell or to supply their product to the Bosch. And in order to penetrate, in order to sell their product to the Bosch, and the Bosch usually requests for a lot of the certificate, like a QS 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 9004, and the TS 14001, and they request tons of thousands certificates. And one of those certificates that must guarantee the capability of the management. And in order to secure that, one of the most important part of the quality management or the certificate of the management capability is how much you have a good employee. No, absolutely, management is nothing but however we manage money, we manage people. Manage money is relatively easy. How much money you invest in those kind of work. For example, safety or the gender bias, diversity. How much money you invest. But however, who make that kinds of things can happen. What kinds of people you train and how they engage in that kinds of work. What kinds of activities was completed and done by those people. Real. And we must be able to prove QS 9000, QS 14,000, PS, something, ESG, blah, 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 sustainability, activity, something. We have tons of thousands of those kind of management capability certificates. Okay, so that is the reason why the people management is important, especially for the documentation. Okay, good. We will go forward. And the strategy to the HR practice. And then I would like to introduce that the new trend of the HR. And that new trend is inspired by the Netflix. And the Netflix a few years ago, they proposed that the Netflix culture, freedom, and the responsibility. And what is the main feature of the Netflix HR? No HR department, no HR manager within the Netflix. No HR at all, no HR department, no HR manager, but all the managers at the Netflix, they take care of the people. That will be fun. And the Netflix proposed that the 7 aspects of the Netflix culture. They proposed that the values, high value, Netflix value, okay, and the high performance, freedom and responsibility, and the context, not control, no command and control, okay, and highly aligned and loosely coupled, okay, person in charge, no zero committee, and the pay top of the market, best of the best payment, best of the best recognition, best of the best reward, best of the best compensation for people within that industry. Okay, promotion and development. Okay, good. And the Netflix is proposing that, and then maybe we'd better to start with watching what the Netflix are doing. Yep, Netflix.
Netflix has been able to reinvent work culture, and is one of the reasons why it has become so successful. In this video, we will show you how it has been able to do this successfully. The growth Netflix has witnessed over the years has been extraordinary, and so has its financial growth. When Netflix first went public in 2002, its share price was sold for $15 a share. However, in 2020, at the height of the pandemic, it skyrocketed to $500 a share. Netflix has been able to become so successful because of how it has been able to transform the way people watch entertainment shows on television. Netflix's success story is well documented in a book co-authored by founder Reed Hastings and Erin Mayer. In the book, titled No Rules, Hastings and Mayer spell out the unorthodox style that has brought Netflix so much success. The way it manages its employees by giving them unusual levels of freedom and responsibility is unprecedented in the modern corporate workplace. Employees enjoy unlimited vacation time, besides the fact salaries they are paid to be members of the Netflix family. How has it been able to do this? The first thing you will notice when you review the management history of Netflix is that it has successfully reinvented itself since 1997, not once, not twice, but 4 times. The company started out as a DVD rental service in 1997, sending DVDs by mail to customers. At the time, it was competing with another company called Blockbuster. At some point, Reed Hastings and his co-founders opted to sell Netflix to Blockbuster for $50 million. When they put the proposal forward, they were laughed off by Blockbuster executives. Why? For the simple fact that Blockbuster was making so much money off DVDs, its customers failed to return. However, fast forward to 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy, and today it is no longer in business. The second time Netflix reinvented itself was when it decided to go into streaming. Streaming offered Reed and his colleagues tremendous insight into what subscribers wanted to watch, how, when, and where. Streaming also opened their eyes to contents that subscribers were most interested in, and the ones that got them excited. How were they able to do this? By tracking their user history. Taking things a step further, Netflix used this data to commission original contents for its streaming platforms. And now it is in its 4th invention wheel, which is producing its own content. From the first invention wheel up to the 4th, the company has been able to evaluate the needs of its subscribers and has adapted its business strategy to meet these needs. Today, its 7,900 employees earn about $2.6 million each per annum, which is 9 times what Disney employees are paid. As if the success story is not enough, Netflix IPO has increased 500-fold since its IPO in 2002. So this means that a shareholder who bought Netflix shares in 2002 will be 500 times richer today. This is one company that has achieved so much despite giving its employees unlimited vacation benefits and no approval culture. In other organizations, this would have been a recipe for disaster, but not for Netflix. Why so? Simply because of its set of tested and trusted rules. Let us explore these rules one by one. Rule 1, talent density. The first rule of Netflix's management culture is talent density. If you skim through Netflix's culture site, you will find the following boldly displayed. Our version of the great workplace is a dream team in pursuit of ambitious common goals for which we spend heavily. It is on such a team that you learn the most, perform your best work, improve the fastest, and have the most fun. Under this rule, Netflix treats its staff not as family, but as a professional sport team. In sports, the best talents prefer to work with other top talents. The same practice is encouraged in Netflix. For example, when an employee is no longer performing at optimal level, Netflix will pay him or her a severance package worth 4 to 6 months' pay and relieve them of the job. Those that remain are paid top salaries. Another way Netflix has been able to achieve talent diversity is to encourage its staff to interview for job openings at other competing streaming services. If the employee gets an offer and returns back to their manager to relate to them how much they are being offered, the manager has 2 options, either to let them go or increase their wage to match the external offer. Rule 2. Critical communication. The second law that has helped Netflix reinvent work culture is the welcoming of critical communication. Decision makers believe that creativity only thrives if everybody involved in the project are allowed to speak their mind. To make this possible, the bosses set a standard, and it is up to subordinates to meet the standard. Pleasing the boss is not the focus, but meeting or surpassing the standard. Employees are allowed to express their views as long as it is in the interest of Netflix, provided their feedback meets following conditions. The feedback must be helpful to the cause, must be actionable, be appreciated by the person for whom it was intended, particularly the boss. The target individual is free to discard or accept the feedback. Rule 3. No rules for talented people. The third rule that has transformed Netflix into a success story is its no rules practice. Managers believe that if you hire talented people and you have them on the job, you don't have to police them by instituting rules to check them. Rather, employees hold themselves accountable. For instance, under their never-ending vacation policy, bosses avoid taking vacation during peak seasons because work demands increase during this period. Since bosses do not take vacations during this period, subordinates do not either. Also, what matters at Netflix is not the number of hours people work, but the level of creativity. However, to ensure that employees do not exploit the freedom they are given to the detriment of the company, Netflix operates a very ruthless human resource policy. Employees who misuse the freedom they are given are fired immediately to make an example for others. Another thing Netflix has done is to set up offices outside the US as a means of attracting foreign talent and, more importantly, to test the radical candor of its HR policy. For instance, in many countries, it is very hard to fire errant employees, particularly in Asian countries where you can't tell an employee that he or she has done wrong. Talk less of firing them. By reinventing work culture in countries where they have foreign offices, Netflix is increasing its talent pool and changing how people work. Netflix work culture is quite compelling to say the least, but it has been a very successful one. In 2013, the value of its stock tripled and it won 3 Emmy Awards. Furthermore, its subscriber base grew to 29 million in the US alone. The approach to work has spurred creativity and employee performance. While many employers believe in establishing strong control over employees in the workplace, Netflix operates a more laid-back, laissez-faire approach. Do what you like as long as you meet your target is the way things are done over there at Netflix. Also, the fact that they are able to hire the best brains for each position is another feather to their hat. Moreover, the principle that talented people do not have to be policed holds some truth. Talented people know what to do, when and how, so they do not have to be micromanaged. So by hiring experienced and talented staff, this alone reduces employee turnover and managers are able to focus on more important tasks instead of correcting the failures of subordinates. Last but not least is the ruthless hiring policy of the company as a weapon to ensure compliance. Lurking in the shadow of the freedom given to employees is a firing whip, and employees know it. Those who err are shown the way out. There is no coming back from that. All of these practices are what has made Netflix a highly successful company. Netflix has reinvented work culture and the positive results are there for all to see in terms of their balance sheet, subscriber base, and a rising stock price. All this has been possible by creating a positive work culture where expression is encouraged, not forbidden. And after all that, the most important thing is subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed the video and press the bell icon for more inspiring and amazing videos. And don't forget to share your opinion in the comment section below. See you in the next one. Take care.
Okay, so this is the Netflix story. Okay, this is the Netflix story. Okay. It worked. Okay. Okay, so then, yeah. This is a new people management trend, new people management way of doing. Okay, and even though we traditionally understand that HR is managing the managing the people, managing, controlling, and giving them supporting functions of firing, recruiting, compensating, something. But however, fundamentally, Netflix is now trying to apply that at totally different levels of the people management. Okay. And yeah, the video shows that there is a rule of the talent density, critical communication, no rules for the talent management barrier. That is summarized like this. Okay, please. Fundamentals. How? Yeah, how? How can the jump on fundamentals, values of the Netflix? What they are value and what is the purpose. This is related to Netflix philosophy. Okay, philosophy, judgment, communication, impact, curiosity, innovation, passion, honesty, and selflessness. These are the values of the Netflix workers. Okay, good. And they look for the high performance. Absolutely, they look for the stunning colleagues. Okay, we will see more detail. And absolutely, Netflix is looking for the best of the best people because at the best of the best people, co-workers is the best compensation for workers, not money. Why people keep their job? Because of the money? No, because of the people. They know that. So then they always looking for the best of the best people. Avoid the regular annual performance. There is no annual performance review. There is no metrics for measuring their KPI, OKR, or the MBO. No, there is no certain that kinds of things for annual review. Okay, no rank and no yang. That means, okay, so we have 10 employees and 10 employees within the team, and 2 must be A, and 7 must be B, and the C players, 1 or 2 C players must get fired. We call that is a rank and yang. Okay. However, Netflix do not have that kinds of rank and yang. Okay? No institutional discrimination, and there is an internally corporate to compete, and in order to make an external competition. Okay, and then many times we compete within the organization for the promotion, to kill something, to secure the money and something. Necessary? No, unnecessary. Within the organization, we must be able to cooperate each other. We don't need to compete. No ranking, no something. There is different roles, no rank, no manager, no hierarchy. Okay? Then we must cooperate. If there is anybody who do not cooperate with me, fire, get out. However, we must be able to compete with others. We have tons of thousand competitors. Amazon.com is Netflix competitor, Google, and the many technology companies and the many DVD sellers, many streaming services. They are all competing with Netflix. Netflix must be able to compete with external challengers. They don't need to compete within the organization. So then, best people is the best weapon for them to compete. If there is no collaborator, if there is no vandalism on the fundamental values, bye-bye. They always look for the best of the best quality people. Anyway, attitude and increase the talent density faster than the complexity grows. Okay, talent density. Talent means, okay, so we must get the most and the best talent pool within the industry, no matter what. If there is anybody who is the best, we invite. Please invite them. And then, absolutely, in order to do that, they have a few number of the policies. Freedom and the responsibility. Act in the Netflix best interest. That is the most important. No micromanagement in work. No vacation policy. If you want to vacate yourself, if you want to have a flexible time something, you can have your vacation. You can design your vacation and you just submit the plan to vacation of something and what you do something. And then the managers got that. Okay, you have vacation. That's it. There is no approval. No approval. Just notification. Hey, boss, I have this plan. I have this vacation plan. I'd better to go to the Bahama for 2 months. And managers usually don't ask anything. Thank you for your information. Go ahead. That's it. And then managers usually let them have money, extra money. Okay, maybe you need this amount of money. Okay, so may I help you to get your ticket? No approval. Fine. Fine. Any problem? No problem. Go ahead. And then if you want to make a travel to Europe and the Paris or the something, okay, and you notify that kinds of things to the boss, and the boss, okay, and how much money do you need? $20? $20,000? Okay. No control. There is no control. And the managers should not ask anything. They just got information to cover or to coordinate his off duty. That's it. That's the reason why the manager must know that. But however, there is no control. Okay, and maybe you believe if there is no control, the people will misbehave. Okay, people will cheat the manager and the people will cheat the Netflix. Okay, they can do that. They can do that. Okay, they can do that. However, there is a rule of the integrity. However, if you totally cheat on that kinds of things, okay, with no purpose, with a certain purpose, something, okay, and then once that was found, immediately lay off. No exception. Okay, once you cheat, no exception. Get out. Simple. However, if you keep your word, if you need that, no control. We believe in you. If you go to Paris to see what is happening at the exhibition or what is happening in the actor, actress, and what is the trend of something, go ahead. No control, no micromanagement. Trust is the matter. Okay, so that is a value. That is a value something developing the purpose value. Okay, and then absolutely this is that. No trust, no organization. That's the Netflix work. Okay, good. And context, no control. Okay, so that's it. And the highly aligned, loosely coupled. Okay, the goal-oriented, flexible organization, no specific HR department. There is no HR department in Netflix. No HR. There is no acquiring policy. There is no recruiting policy. There is no layoff policy. There is no compensation policy. There is nothing. And those kind of salary things or the documentation things, tax things are totally outsourced. No that kinds of supporting functions. Okay? But HR functions that is performed by manager. Manager is performing and managing people. No HR manager. Manager do that. And manager has a full authority and a full responsibility of the managing his people or her people. And those kind of things is totally supported by the outsourced activities. It's outsourced suppliers. Wrong? Managers can do that. That's the management. Okay, and then there is a career planning, not for the Netflix, but for a person. Okay, so maybe you can see the few number of examples of the Netflix. Netflix has a very strange rule, and the Netflix encourage people to go to the job interview or to go to the job market, and to encourage them to, yeah, please expose yourself to the job market. If there is any better employer, we will strongly support your moving to another company. Oh, many companies are talking a lot about the retention, how we can keep those guys within our company. But how Netflix encourage their people to, hey, if there is any possibility, you can go out. You can try. We support. And if they want they offer for the job interview something, and Netflix, okay, hey, good luck to you. We support your career transition. We support your career promotion. We support you as a person, not my employee. However, we strongly cheering your career transition, career promotion, career development. Okay? Good. And why? Because Netflix usually is the best employer in that industry. They have that kind of confidence. If there is any better chance that we can serve for you from the Netflix, we would treat you as the best within this industry. And if you got a better job offer from the Microsoft, if you got a better job offer from the Amazon, if you got a better job offer from another company, please let us deal with you first. We will make you better. We want to keep. Oh, that's not a retention. And interestingly, when we encourage, when we support, when we cheer a personal career development, career transition, career promotion, Netflix employees want to stay the Netflix because they feel appreciated, they feel recognized, they feel valued. Oh yeah, human is paradoxical. And however, yeah, this is somewhat very strange retention strategy in terms of the people management. And this is totally contradictory with that of traditional HR, but we do that because many things are now changing. Netflix started with a DVD provider, but there are a lot of problems. And they fundamentally changed their business model. They changed their business model from the DVD to streaming service, quickly streaming service, and they went to global. And then Netflix make a lot of money, not only in the US, but they make a lot of money in Asia. And one exception is China. Okay, and they tried to penetrate the Chinese market, but however, unfortunately, Chinese market do not open the gate. But interestingly, many Netflix video and the content is widespread in China. Yeah, okay. Okay, and they know that, but however, they do not control that. They can do that, but they do not control that. Okay, so maybe that's a political topic. Anyway, so they make a lot of money in Asia and the Europe. Okay, and then they changed that over, and then they shifted their gear. A few years ago, Netflix started to make their own contents. self-production. Okay, self-production. And for example, Netflix. The start of the Netflix is Okja, and this is one of the example of the Netflix self-content. Possibly, okay. Yesterday, Amber and Sherry, we see this. And this is a Netflix content. This is one of the recent Netflix content.
자원의 고갈, 우주에 세워진 쉘터에서의 인간, 새로운 기회를 맞게 됐습니다. 하지만 그것이 잠시.
Netflix. And this is produced by Netflix. So Netflix is only one channel that provides this content.
가진 모든 전투 강한 충성심과 의지까지도 가지고 있는 최고의 전투 지휘 AI를 개발한 것입니다. 이 프로그램을 정의라고 칭할 때
Okay, so yeah, that's only for the Netflix. Okay, and interestingly, the Netflix was started as that DVD distributor, and they becoming a streaming service provider, and they become a global company, global partner or something. And however, nowadays they are becoming an entertainment producer, content producer. Oh, they shifted and they transformed. They quickly transformed those kind of things. Okay. And maybe we can understand that kinds of things as configuration group. According to their newly emerging strategy, okay, they can set up the new strategy goals and they quickly change throughout the quick learning. Okay. In order to do that, Netflix needed the best quality of people. That is the reason why the Netflix have a very unique human resource management policies like that. And where's that? Where's that? Where are you? Okay. And I'd better to show the secret of the Netflix people, Netflix policy. One of the most important Netflix policy and what is the meaning of the talent density and the talent density and how the Netflix hire the best people. Who is the best people for Netflix? Most capable person who graduated MIT, who graduated university, who graduated the best of the best schools, who has the best experience? No, unfortunately, no. Netflix do not hire for aptitude. Netflix hire for attitude. And this rule is conceptualized as this. Netflix hire, reward, and tolerate only fully formed adults. Only the fully formed adult is the best talent for the Netflix. only fully formed adult, fully formed, well-rounded people, well-rounded talent they look for, okay? And this is the Netflix HR policy that is summarized like this, okay? And externally, Netflix talent, Netflix people should have take a responsibility for their life and blame nobody else. Take the responsibility of their life. So that encouraging people, Netflix people to find a better job outside of Netflix or going to the career transition and career promotion and career development, we support because that is your responsibility to become a good person, good talent. We support. Don't blame the others. Because of my father, because of my something, because of my family, because I was not a, because of something, because of the sick, because I was born in a. No, don't complain. Please take your career responsibility and your life responsibility. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an energy vampire. Take a responsibility out. And second, please always try to make a win-win. Think win-win. Don't strive and don't steal the others. Please try to construct the you winning, the others winning. Win-win. Think win-win. Please try to make a win-win situation. And I take the credit somebody. No, don't do that. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a energy vampire. Construct the better values together. Think win-win always. And third, discipline the listening. Listening again. Listen carefully. Who do not listen to people? No Netflix. No command and control. Please listen and lead. That's a disciplined listening, and these are the external values of the Netflix. And is there any Harvard? Is there any education? Is there any requirement for the capability skill something? No. They are attitude. Okay, good. And internally, Netflix look for the people who have clear vision, mission, and purpose goals. Clear personal goals, team goals, organizational goals, and life goals. No goals, no effort. And have a clear value and the priorities. What kinds of values do you have? And is that kind of value is aligned with our team, is aligned with our Netflix organization? And tolerance. Not only tolerate the difference, but also respect the varied opinions, perspectives, and the experiences. And nowadays, we have a lot of the problems of the racist nations towards women, toward minority, and toward underserved populations, disabilities, and a few weeks ago, Google engineer he sabotaged something, and the University of Texas A&M professors talks a lot, and the University of Pennsylvania professor talk about it, the white supremacy, Donald Trump. Only the white is totally brilliant and intelligent, and then the other blacks or the Asians are totally inferior, and they must be a slave or something. And the women must stay in home to make a birth, useless scam in the workplace. Oh, it happens a lot. I'm sorry. This happens a lot. Really. Really. And if that kinds of people try to stay in the Netflix, I'm sorry, we cannot tolerate. Netflix do not tolerate those kind of people. No. We respect the humanity. We respect the difference. We tolerate. We can be tolerant. We can be tolerate the difference, and we can be tolerate the different value. However, don't blame, don't make a crime. We have zero tolerance of that. Netflix do not have that. No, okay. Good. And finally, everything is multidimensional. You can be right. The others can be right too. There is a multidimensional human capital, financial capital, human capital, social capital, spiritual capital, physical capital, psychological capital. There is organic capital. So we must be able to understand that things are multidimensional. That's not just unidimensional. That's just simple. We understand there are a lot of dynamics. We adapt, we change, we learn in order to do that. Okay? So these are the summary of the HR practice of the Netflix. So Netflix is looking for this talent. This is aptitude or attitude. This is aptitude, capability, or attitude. So Netflix is looking for the hire for attitude and fire for attitude. Opposite. Okay. So this is a new trend in the business. And what do you think? The traditional HR models and traditional way of doing in managing people and the traditional talent profile, the best talent profile is working in this fastly or quickly changing business environment? Possibly yes and possibly no. It depends. But however, we have this kind of different examples. Okay, in managing people, no HR supporting functions. But however, the managers manage people in this way. That's the reason why we need to listen and we need to talk a lot about what is happening in the current business. We should have better options. I don't say, okay, this is the best option. No. I don't say this is the best. No, it depends. It depends on your choice. However, we do better to understand, we do better to have a better idea what kinds of things are now happening in terms of the managing people. Okay, good. And then we will talk about it, the strategy, the human resource management tools a little. Okay, I cannot go in detail because that will be covered by the strategy management. I just tap. Okay, and then we will go to the legal context of the human resource management. We have a few number of the legal context or something. Okay, we will keep talking about it. Any questions so far? So far, okay? Okay. So no matter what, many things are now changing in the business world. Okay, so we have these kind of directions. We have another directions. We can keep the traditional understandings. But however, the one thing is clear: we should encourage people to keep learning and changing. Okay, what is the best way? That's our choice. Okay, good. That's it, and I will see you 1 p.m. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will see you.
I'll see you.